is 39 cents.
This is saying if the price of the profit is in line with Muggle newspapers, that means that one nut should be about 20 cents to $1. The price of a newspaper being about $1 in 1991. This makes a sickle worth somewhere between $6 and $30 and gives a galleon a value of between $100 and $500.
He just spent a shit ton on a wand, people. That's what we've learned from that. That is a shit ton. 100 to 500.
This says wizarding currency. This is on the Harry Potter wiki.
Well, if it's on the Harry Potter wiki, then it's probably more right. I'm not sure what this is on. I don't know anything about Quora, so I'm gonna trust the Harry Potter wiki. That's probably a safe bet.
This here's another question from Quora though that says how he pays 7 galleons for his wand, so that's about 35 pounds, and we know that the U.S. dollar is...
It's like $50. 35 pounds, about $50.
I thought it would be less than...
My calculator, Jade's first answer, told me about 46 and some change.
Okay.
We could round up to 50. Spend about $50 on a wand.
Which isn't bad, but
pay that at Universal too.
You know, what's a gold galleon? I guess that's what it comes down to. What is a gold galleon worth? Because it's a gold galleon. 7 of them? I'm looking.
Okay, 35 pounds
galleon
is $44.
We gotta find out.
I just don't want to be inaccurate.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I'm really bad at math. Because I don't think his wand was a couple $100.
Mm-hmm. You don't think a wand would be worth a couple $100?
I mean, I think it might be worth it, but everyone gets, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that you're whipping out $400 for your kid to go to this wizarding school.
I mean, that's true. I like the point you made about, you're going to give this thing to an 11-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay, our son has a phone. He's 10. I paid $50 for the phone. Would I pay $600 for a phone and give it to a 10-year-old? No, I wouldn't.
Now, thinking with that logic, it makes a lot more sense that Charlie upgraded his wand because he got one at 11 and beat the shit out of it and needed a new one because he was like, mine looks like crap. So I'm going to get one. I'm going to spend a couple G's, a couple galleons on a new wand.
A couple G's.
And,
quality pun right there, Jade.
and he got himself a real cool one, so he just gave Ron his real crap one.
And we are getting the notion that the Weasley family is a little more money conscious, little poor. I mean, he's getting hand-me-downs, so maybe as his older sibling was out in the real wizard world, had a job, and was making his own money, he thought, I can afford now a better wand for myself. I'm going to go get myself one. Here you go, little brother. Have the hand-me-down.
His parents were just real cheap, which we know they apparently don't have a lot. But...
And I mean, yeah, they're in England, but can we just say that that's like a Dutch thing?
Well, we know that it's not something that you just throw away.
Right.
Because obviously they're reusing it. Ron makes a comment about his wand that the unicorn hair is like coming out of the end of it because it's so fucked up. But if it was that messed up and they were only $50, wouldn't you just get a new one? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's obviously somewhat important because you wouldn't just throw it away. It's worth something to keep.
Right. Because I don't know. We need to read more into some wand lore before we can get some definitive answers about these wand questions.
Harry does try and make Ron feel a little bit better after divulging a little information about, his family's circumstances, money-wise, and that sort of thing. And he talks about having to wear Dudley's old clothes and not getting proper birthday presents. And I think they're kind of bonding over this not coming from a lot of money. And Ron was very loved, but that's what they had. They didn't have a lot, whereas Harry didn't have a lot, but he also had a really shitty upbringing. But it's something that they're bonding over.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what helps them get so close so quick, because they're like, oh, you're miserable like me? Cool. What are we drinking tonight? Some PB&J from Elk Brewing.
This is no shit my favorite beer on the planet. I dropped Jade off at a bridal shower a couple of years ago, and this brewery happened to be right around the corner, so I stopped there and found this beer, and it has been a staple in my refrigerator ever since. it makes me feel like a little kid, kinda, because it's peanut butter and jelly. I mean...
It feels good in your mouth.
But
Yes,
the
it does.
adult version.
Right, the adult version. Like, I took this out on the river this year. We all went on the river, and I had this stocked up in the cooler, and it was fantastic. I dig it.
Yeah.
James, what are you drinking?
Cider Boys First Press Traditional Hard Cider.
Sounds yummy.
Yeah.
How does it taste?
It's good. Tastes exactly like apple juice.
But with a kick?
Nope, not at all.
Ooh,
I just
that's
get to
dangerous.
Get drunk off of it.
Dangerous.
Well, hey, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
I was gonna say, half of what we have are cans, so it sounds like shit.
Not a good cheers.
We'll work on that and get back to you. They discuss, their families and stuff and their similarities, and then Harry gets to spend all of his money and get a bunch of stuff, like cakes and candy and chocolate frogs and Bernie Bott's every flavor bean. Like, he just goes ham on all the snacks, and him and Ron get down on some junk food. And that's like a bonding thing between them.
He thought it was going to be, like, normal. Like, he thought he was going to get a Mars bar.
Mars bars, right.
And then he sees all this, and he's learning more and more. Even these little things are very different. Your treats are not of the usual persuasion.
So he's eating his chocolate frog, and there's cards inside, and they're like baseball cards, but for wizards. Harry finds out that pictures don't stay still, because he looks at the picture, and the card he gets is Dumbledore. And he flips it over, and it shows the information about him. Like, he likes chamber music, and he likes 10-pin bowling. And when he flips it over again, he's gone. And he's like, dude, he disappeared. And Ron casually tells him, well, yeah, he's not going to hang out all day. And Harry's like, yeah, pictures don't move from where I come from. And Ron is weirded out by it.
Like, that's a normal thing, apparently. But...
And then he just goes back to eating.
Okay, I've seen the movie. But I kind of picture it like a GIF. A picture is like a short little video, but that's the way I kind of envisioned it when he was there.
Oh, of how the chocolate card went. Chocolate frog card went. Chocolate frog card.
How the moving pictures work.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
So, I guess in my head, when I was reading it, it was like a hologram. It kind of moves a little bit, and then, if you're holding it still, then it's, still.
And
But
then
it's the
you just-
actual person.
No, it's not it's like a shade of a person. You understand what I mean?
I get what you're putting down.
Okay.
Got you.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a knock at the door, and the round-faced boy came in tearfully. And he's looking for his friggin' toad, because he lost him. And they're like, no. And Ron doesn't really know why he cares so much, because he says he would lose the toad if he had one, but he has a frickin' rat, so he can't say anything. And this links back to our earlier conversation about approved animals, and how rats were not on them, and it's a little confusing as to why he has one.
Also, that would probably make it stick out.
Right.
Like, the fact that it wasn't one of the suggested animals to bring alone means that everybody's going to know that Ron's got a rat instead of owl or a cat or something kind of cool.
Right. What are you going to do with it? Like, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, a toad might have secretions or something you could use for potions. But this rat shit just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't really see the upside to keeping a rat around, like, ever.
Ooh. I have to get a little off track here for a minute, because you were saying about the Birdie Bott's every flavor beans that you thought it was Birdie. But in the next page ahead, as we're going through, it does say Birdie Bott's. It says,
does it?
Yes, it does. And I'm wondering if the original... What one is the typo? And I'm guessing it was the first one, because it's referenced more as Birdie Bots.
Oh, did I read it wrong in my book then?
No,
Maybe?
it's typed, like, it's spelled wrong in the book.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I thought that I had been misreading Birdie Bots as Betty Bots, because it's written that way the first time that you read it. It's written Betty Bot, every flavor bean. And they try a whole bunch of them, and they're all delicious. But apparently... 2 pages down, and then for the rest of the series, they're called Birdie Bots. And I'm not crazy. So, there's that. Thank you, Chantel.
you're welcome. J.K. Rowling, you made a mistake. Just pointing that out. Typo. She should have caught that.
I don't know how that happens, so I'm not going to say that. I don't fucking know. But it's a typo.
Yeah, it happened.
Is this a thing online? Are there threads about it on Reddit, Jade? Have people caught it?
Oh, there's gonna be.
I literally had no idea
Okay. Well,
until just now. So maybe I did at like a long time ago, and I had like forgotten because I've reread these a long time, and I feel like I noticed at one point that I had read it wrong. The birdie bots are all sorts of different flavors.
It's Russian roulette in your mouth. You don't know what you're gonna get.
I'm listening to the Audible at work, and he's like, he had a booga flavored one. I cracked up,
Do they
man.
stop at
I
just
lost it.
edible things, or do they go with like wood, metal,
He says grass.
weird stuff like that?
Yeah.
Paint.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say they probably throw a bunch of that shit in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. I mean, they do vomit.
They may do vomit.
Maybe I'm just thinking about the real life ones. I don't even know for sure if I know that from the books now that I think about that. That might just be like real life.
So as they're enjoying all their little treats, they have a knock on the door, and it's Neville, who we heard earlier lost his toad. He's still looking for it. Can't find it. He keeps getting away from him, he says. How do you lose a toad that much?
How do you not come with a container for it?
Is it just hanging out in his pocket?
I think so. Like, that's how you lose a frog. For sure.
That's exactly how. He's like, I don't want to be in this pocket, so
Bye.
I'm out.
Toads are lame. Hagrid said so.
But again, I don't know why the rat's fucking there or why he's allowed. Don't understand. We talked about it earlier. Just saying. Weird.
And speaking of the rat, he tries to do a spell on the rat. He's going to try and turn it yellow when the round-faced boy, Neville, comes back with Hermione, a new girl. They describe her as having, like,
Bushy brown hair and rather large front teeth.
freckles, like a big hot mess of a person. But
Already
it's-
in her new robes.
Right. She's gone above and beyond. Like, she's ready to go. She speaks very, very fast. But she sees him with the wand in his hand because he's going to try and turn his rat yellow. And she launches into explaining how she's already memorized all of her books front to back. And then she's like, well, go on. Do the thing. Like, she kind of inserted herself very awkwardly into the situation. She's like, oh, you got your wand out. You're going to do some magic. Well, go on. Give me a show.
A little forceful, this one.
Right, like, what the fuck? This is nothing to do with you. What are you doing here? Go. And, but Ron's not me. Ron tries, and it doesn't work. He says this weird rhymey thing about buttermellow, and nothing happens. And he's like, well, my brothers are probably just fucking with me again.
Or could it be that Ron doesn't have a wand that was supposed to be given to him? He has a hand-me-down wand from his brother.
So maybe it's not
So
working
all of
out
his
so
spells
well.
may continue to backfire on him
They do say,
going forward.
yeah, they do say that wands never work as
Yep.
well as your wand.
Yep.
If you're using somebody else's wand, it's not gonna work the same way.
Right.
Right off the bat, Ron's at a huge disadvantage with his wand.
Yeah, with his life, basically. Like, oh, here's this really important thing you need. You need to be tailored to you. Nah, use your brothers.
And he said, did you hear about Gringotts? And it was an attempt to rob a high security vault. But they don't know really anything else aside from that, just that someone tried to.
They were apparently a powerful dark wizard. They think
Read.
Voldemort might have had something to do with it.
And then their compartment door slides open again, but it's not Neville. It's three boys, and Harry recognizes the one in the middle as the pale boy from Madame Malkin's robe shop. And he's got two boys with him. They are bigger, and they look kind of like bodyguards. And he says, this is Crabbe and Goyle, and my name's Malfoy, Draco Malfoy. Ron does a slight cough to hide a little snicker, and Malfoy says, think my name's funny, do you?
Malfoy immediately identifies Ron as, like, the enemy, and his attitude changes. He had a very high mighty and pride attitude when we saw this kid before, but now you're really seeing his nasty side.
I found it interesting that right away the book is already addressing this kid